We begin tonight with the story of a volunteer giving his time to help find his two friends who are trapped in the wreckage. His name is Mike Hepler, and he joins us now from the scene in Oklahoma. Mike, when you are not volunteering to help friends in need, what do you do in Oklahoma City?
Tom, I'm a professor at a local university here, Oklahoma State University's Oklahoma City branch, about 5 miles away from the downtown area.
And how long have you been at work volunteering trying to help find survivors in this building?
Well, Tom, I came down yesterday late afternoon because I had classes that I had to teach, and actually felt that blast yesterday morning, and came down because another friend was down here volunteering with the military and asked me to come down and help. And so I was down here till about 2:30 last night, and then came back late this afternoon, and we just came out about 30 minutes ago.
What's it like inside that building? Tell me about this experience, Michael.
Well, Tom, going in last night, you know, living in Oklahoma and Oklahoma City is, by choice, take a lot of pride in being a very close-knit community and not the fast pace of the big city. And as you walk down in there, I don't have a military background. I've never been in wartime scenes, but it's just really hard to even explain. As you can see in the some in the background, I've been down there about 18 hours, and it's still hard to look at that and realize that's in my hometown, and it's just so devastating. When I walked in, the two things that I noticed right away, the main thing was latex gloves that were just scattered all over the place because people that would help, and then they would help someone else, and then glass that was all over the place. It's just hard to believe that's my community.
Now, you're trying to help friends who you believe are trapped in the building, correct?
Well, I'm trying to help in any way that I can, and trying to help everyone. Yes, I do have some friends that are still unaccounted for, and there's a post office downtown that's been turned into a morgue, and I've gone by there a couple times trying to find out information, but they're being very, very tight with information, and understandably so. So it's very frustrating, and I always want to hold out hope, but as the hours go by, I mean, realistically and realism, it just starts setting in, and you have to realize, you know, what is really going on and what the situation is.
Not being medically trained, I don't know how long people can survive in this close containment with possible injuries. Have you consulted with medical people on this as to how long we can keep hope going here?
Well, not specifically on length, but I can say, just coming from the scene, that and being within a matter of feet of the building, and yes, seeing some bodies that are the people are dead, but also getting some reports as they bring dogs back in there and find out where some bodies are, and with the other technology that there's still a possibility that there may be you know, people alive in there. You can't give up hope.
I think you're absolutely right. I was reading an account late this afternoon that after 24 hours or so of deprivation, people will nod off, or they'll fall asleep, or they will stop moaning or crying. And there's a very real possibility, again, I don't want to offer something that's not true or not possible, but there's a very real possibility here. I mean, in the earthquake in San Francisco in 1989, people survived for several days under the collapsed Nimitz Freeway, and they were brought out, and although they were in very tough shape, they were eventually brought back to good health and are alive and well today. So let's not, for heaven's sake, stop the rescue effort at this time. I would assume you plan to keep with this for some time.
Yes, and the difference between today and yesterday is yesterday, of course, was so chaotic, and then with the weather that we had to deal with, and I think one of the things I appreciated so much last night was so many volunteers and literally hundreds of people and from around the country, the goods that they would go on TV and say what they need in a matter of an hour sometimes, and even shorter. Those things would be delivered to a station that was set up, and even I know last night as I came down, not knowing exactly what I was going to be walking into, and in the rain, my feet and I just started getting so cold. And the thing I appreciated even more than the food, I think, was a gentleman that was walking around with a box of socks, and handing them out to people and volunteers, and I tell you, it made all the difference in the world. And I sat down right there in the street and changed my socks to continue on.
There's nothing like dry socks at a time like this.
Certainly, certainly, and you know, that's the thing I think that motivates all of us, is the hope that, you know, there still is someone in there that possibly is alive, but today is much more methodical. There's not near as many people within the immediate area. And
what about the building itself? Do you feel safe in there? I heard earlier today they tried to shore up some parts with railroad ties because they feared possible collapse. How stable is the building in your view?
Well, parts of it seem to be pretty stable, and then quite honestly, there's other parts that they are trying to stabilize. And you know, you trust in the professionals that are there, and the decisions that they are making, and I really believe that they are doing a good job. And today, what I see more than anything too is people doing things in teams as they plan things out. You see 4 or 5 firefighters go in. You see some of the rescue teams, some from Sacramento, some from even New York City, that are going in, and the equipment. And the thing that is getting done much more today is they're actually removing debris and actually taking that building apart.
Michael, I thank you for your time. I know you have work yet to do this evening and again tomorrow, and God bless you, sir, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, Tom, thank you, and also I'd like to thank all the people around the country, because we do feel all the support that we're getting, and we ask for that continued support and prayers, because it does matter to us, and it does make a difference.
We have the wagon circled for you, my friend. Thanks again for your time tonight.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Mr. Mike Hepler, a teacher at Oklahoma State University, looking for survivors in the rubble at Oklahoma City tonight. We'll be right back with Charles Porter, who took a remarkable photograph on the front page of almost every paper in America today, and a reporter for radio station KTOK in Oklahoma City after these messages.